all heard the saying, "What goes around must come around." But we never take into account what this means. We learn a very important but simple lesson from a lovely young lady in A Glass of Milk by author unknown. When you treat others the way you want to be treated, joy will overshadow you. You will find peace knowing that no matter if that happens to you personally, you know in your heart that you treated them the way you would want to be treated. Soon after, a young boy went all through the town looking for people to buy his product. Just little toys that weren't worth much, but they were going to help him pay for school. He went throughout the whole town knocking on everybody's door. He was getting exhausted. He would go door to door knocking. "Knock, knock. Is anybody there? I'm trying to sell this stuff for school. I'm trying to pay for school myself. Will you please look at it? Will you please buy it?" Most people shunned him and said, "No, go away. We don't have time for this." But he was getting tired. He worked all day, and he was getting really hungry as well. He decided he was going to stop at the next house and ask for a meal. But he looked in his pocket and only had just a dime left, not enough to pay for a whole meal. But he knew that he was so hungry and he needed to continue on for the rest of the day that no matter what, he was going to ask for a meal. So he went to the door and asked, "Knock, knock, knock. Hello, anybody there?" The door opened and a lovely lady opened the door. "Hello? Yes, how may I help you?" Can I, oh, I'm just going door to door selling toys, but I'm really thirsty. Can I get a glass of water?" He got really nervous and changed his mind and decided he only wanted a glass of water because she was so pretty. "Yes, I'll be right back. I'll go get you a glass of water." She went into the kitchen and said to herself, "Well, he looked really hungry. Maybe I should just bring him a glass of milk. I'm sure he would appreciate that." She came through the kitchen, grabbed the milk, and came out and said, "Here you go. I know you said water, but I know you're really thirsty, and you look a little hungry too, so I brought you milk." "Thank you." And he, oh, that was so good. Thank you so much. I'm so tired. I've been working all morning selling these toys to pay for school. They sat and talked for a good while, just talking about everything, and then he replied, "Ma'am, what do I owe you?" The lovely lady replied and said, "Nothing. My mother always taught us to never have people pay for showing kindness to them. But I'm sure I have a dime. I can pay it. I'm sure." No. Go on your way. Continue on." He left that day with more strength physically and spiritually. He knew that God was there. He knew that he could only ask for what a dime could pay for, and she repaid him with more than what he had thought, because he got so nervous he couldn't ask her for a meal. But that love and the kindness that was shown by her desired him to continue on, and he looked in his faith, he studied his word, and he wanted to pay it forward somehow, someday. He went on to medical school and never heard of her again for previous years. But all of a sudden, in the doctor's office, going through all of his patients, he heard a familiar tone, and he wondered, could it be? Is this lady from this town? What does she look like? What is she like? Really? She's in room 203? He quickly ran to 203 and opened the door and said, "Hello? Are you Miss?" "Really? You are? You're from this town?" "Yes." Are you the little boy I gave milk to when we were younger?" Yes, I am. How are you? I know you're not doing well, and we've been looking over your reports and wondering what we can do to figure this out. I know this must be a difficult time, and really stressful on you. Do you need anything? Do you need medicine? What do you need? Just let me know and I will get it for you. I will have the nurse come in right away. Oh, no. When he left the room, he decided he was going to do everything in his will to help her. He didn't know what it was because he didn't know what disease she had yet. But he didn't stop there. He searched, he researched, and he studied. Finally, the battle was won and she survived. She beat the disease she had. And she didn't have much money. She was just living alone by herself. Worked really hard, but she couldn't afford it. The bill was passed. And he told his coworkers, please return this bill to my room before submitting it to her. I want to approve it. They gave him the letter with the bill notice on it. He wrote on the letter, paid in full by a glass of milk. And they delivered it to her room. She opened it up and she didn't know how. She was getting all fretful and I don't know how I'm ever going to pay this off. I'm going to spend the rest of my life paying this bill. And she opened it up, pulled it out, paid in full. Who would do this? The doctor was standing in the doorway. I did. Because you showed great kindness when we were younger and encouraged me to keep going and pay it forward. The lesson learned is, while he was just a boy selling goods to pay for school, he learned a life lesson that she treated him with kindness, and for that, he was encouraged. Inspiration was sprung up. He knew that he needed to pay it forward. And with just that little piece of kindness that she had shown, he was able to pay it forward to her. And we, as Christians, are supposed to pay it forward as well. Christ died for us without anything in return. But our duty as Christians is to pay it forward, to show people kindness like Christ. And how that no matter what we do, we are supposed to be a testimony to him. That life lesson that he learned that early on in life led him to where he was today and was able to encourage other people.